nice help here for this video. So in the comments of this video, if you played Yu-Gi-Oh at any point, whether it was the original days where Raigeki was a terrifying card, or recently play right now where you play stuff like Snake Eyes, or you play Elf Node, or Tier Limits, or Cash or whatever powerful deck existed in the past couple of years, let me know which format you guys come from. But I had a realization, Yu-Gi-Oh is crazy. A lot has changed, and it really just highlighted how fast the game is growing. Even nowadays, we're getting crazy cards. Editor, put Galant's Thief on the screen. This card right here is a brand new Lava Golem that's coming out that says if you have no normal monsters, or if you have no monsters on your side of the field, you have to special summon this on your field by tributing monsters on your opponent's field or your hand. And on top of that, it has a negate that activates if your opponent tries to play a card in hand, graveyard, or banishment. So not only is it a Lava Golem, but it's a negate. And honestly, when you read this card, it sounds insane. It's actually very healthy for a board breaker meta today. You know, I'm always team add more board breakers than hand traps. Hand traps are kind of annoying, but they're needed in the game. You know, I know a lot of you guys are anti-Ash Blossom, anti-this, but unfortunately, those cards are needed. Fuck Maxi though. Maxi unfortunately breaks the game, which is proven in this mode. In 2019, people Maxi'd you. Maxi was first made in 2010, I think, when it had 6 Samurais. It was a TCG exclusive made on the English side of the game. And it was literally made to counter 6 Samurais. And then that card, it took a long time to get basically banned in the TCG. And then it's a Master Duel and on OCG, it's a 1. But even then, when you activate that 1 card against your opponent, you just auto win. Whether you're going first or second, that card will just carry you for if you can't stop. All right, so we are going first. This is a much slower format. If you did play Yu-Gi-Oh back then, 2019 format features Thunder Dragons, early Sky Striker. You had Dangers were also kind of crazy. So it's a lot of those are familiar cards, but they're not as crazy as they seem. So this hand sucks. We're gonna go ahead and just set one and pass and see where this gets us. There's a world where I should have held Imperm, but honestly, I'm not too worried because in 2019 you're not instantly dying yet, unless your opponent, you know, they open up insanely cracked. I think that's something that, look at that. That alone was enough. What were they playing? Now I'm curious. I need to know, what were they playing when they were like, nah, that one card is everything. Yo, peep the wins though. All right, let me see what they're playing. They were playing Thunder. Oh, they probably had the same hand where you just had Thunder Dragons in hand. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh, where back then, you know, the thing you had to fear the most was a brick, but even then you could still play. You brick today, game over. Anyways, if you played Yu-Gi-Oh, like I said, I need some help from you guys. Assist me, but let me know where you guys played. Some of you guys just watched the videos. You probably never even played, but let me know where you stand in that. Honestly, I don't want this to be a knock modern Yu-Gi-Oh video. Again, I still love modern Yu-Gi-Oh. I play Elf Node right now in the TCG. I think that deck in the game is a lot of fun. But yeah, a lot has changed. Hey, yo, peep the top 10,000 though in the qualifier. I got 534, I think, in my region. It's not crazy. It's not, you know, top whatever, but my goal was to do top 1,000 in the 2026 Worlds qualifier, and we got almost top 500. All right, so we're going second. Great hand, right? This is dark. Yeah, great hand, fantastic hand, and we have an Imperm to stop whatever. So let's see where this takes me. Yeah, I don't want this to be a knock modern Yu-Gi-Oh thing at all. I want this to be dangerous. So this is gonna end on probably some kind of like crazy power. I'm just going to do this. I guess this is probably going to do nothing for me. Ooh, actually, we might want to stop this. Actually, I have no idea what to play this. Cherubini, you don't want to stop this because this basically stands for cost. Are they playing whatchamacallit? Dante and stuff. What do you call those cards? Burning Abyss. But yeah. Let's see where this takes me, actually. I think this is one of the more combo decks from 2019. I've only played against like 3 Burning Abyss decks since this format came out, so I don't fully am confident in what the end board looks like yet. I guess I'll find out here in a second. Rusty, I want to hit. We are hitting Rusty for sure. And I guess they also didn't know what they were doing. One thing I'm gonna put my foot down, and something that pisses me off about the Yu-Gi-Oh community, if you do this, stop. Every time someone posts that they miss old Yu-Gi-Oh, there's always some dipshit on Twitter. They'll be like, you miss Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! This is not the same thing, you know? It's like they're always angry, and it's like, you gotta understand, most of us grew up as kids playing this game. We were not at, you know, 11-year-olds sweating in some tournament. We played this game because we watched Kaiba and Yu-Gi on TV, you know? There's nothing wrong if you grew up with the game, playing it, that way. Nothing wrong with it. For some reason, it's like if you say that on Twitter, people just have they are just freaking out. I'm like, bro, it's not that deep. All right, activate this to add 2 Thunder Dragons. What? I will also activate this just in case they have Droll. What will you do? Would have nothing. Bang. And then we're gonna go ahead add 1 Thunder Dragon. It's funny because I played this so much in Goat Yu-Gi-Oh! It's like, what does Thunder Dragon do? It's to mill out the deck, but in here it has a much more nefarious purpose. Now we summon Dragon Matrix, and we're going to go ahead and end it very simple. Look how fast my turn was. Very fast turn. Thunder Dragon Colossus. That's it. That's all we're gonna do. And then we activate this to add a Matrix to hand, further thin the deck out, and then we pass. Did I mention what I'm playing yet? I built basically a Thunder Dragon Alistair control deck. It works pretty well. Look at that. 3 Call by the Graves is insane. And then we got some towers in there as well. Black House of Soldier, Mech Knight Crusadia. Appaloosa was legal here, but no one really played her like that. It doesn't matter as much. All right, so Crusadia is gonna be kind of annoying here because I can't target it. So I gotta figure out how to stop that from coming out. They're probably out of here. It's funny, Thunder Dragon Colossus back then was not that problematic. I mean, it was annoying when it popped up. You know, we have cards that pop up today that are annoying, but it was bearable. You can deal with it. Today, they play this card with this and something else. I think that's the problem with modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Is there's too many archetypes blending. You know what? That's exactly what it is. If modern Yu-Gi-Oh! I said this before, modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Should be only limited to what themes you play and the archetypes you play. If you're an Elf Mode player, you play an Elf Mode. If you're playing Sprites, you play Sprites. If you play Cash, you play Cash. Even tier limits. The thing that made tier limits so broken wasn't tier limit itself. It's the stuff that was mixed with, like the Ishizu cards, for example. That's what made the game unbearable back then. I think if Konami can figure out how to only build archetypes that work amongst themselves and only puts that out in the future, while it might not be as fun deck building wise, it'll make it way more balanced in my opinion. Because what kind of ruins Yu-Gi-Oh! On the modern side nowadays is all the generic shit. Think about it. Snake Eyes was not that bad. I know, it's gonna sound crazy. What made Snake Eye unbearable to most people that played against the deck is when it turned into Appaloosa, Baron de Fleur, Savage Dragon, all different archetypes. Even with like Elfno right now, the deck that I play, it's like I have to play Crystal Wing to make sure I don't get nibbed because there's no like generic negate. Like there's stuff like that that makes it very, very annoying. All right, so we don't have a light yet. So this is the problem. If I get, let's activate this first. If I get hit with Droll, I do die here. Let's see what happens. Nothing yet. All right, let's do another Thunder Dragon to send us away. Bang. And then we're gonna activate Magical Meltdown. Add Alistair. Now hear me out. I'm going to actually allure. Ooh, whoa, that actually worked out. That worked out really, really well. That worked out really, really well. Is there a world? Well, we're gonna go ahead and set this just in case. So I have 2 options. I mean, I guess I could summon this. That's fine, right? Let's set this. I'm gonna go ahead and summon this and then activate Allure. Let's see what happens. Can we get a Dark in hand? We did not. All right. Our turn is gonna be pretty simple. We're gonna go ahead and just switch into Thunder Dragon Colossus and end our turn. Bang. And yeah, the reason why Invocation was lighting up, by the way, is because Invocation says you can fusion summon if you have the cards in your hand. So it's like a polymerization on top of the invoked engine. All right, so now we have an Imperm. We have Invocation set, but doesn't really do anything. They're probably gonna Harpy's Feather Dust to me because that's what always happens when you set 2 cards, or I guess 3 in this case, including Magical Meltdown, which is face up. And yeah, but I go back to what I'm saying. I feel like if they limit Yu-Gi-Oh! Only to, that's gonna be rough. If they limit Yu-Gi-Oh! Only to just the specific archetypes and themes that are coming out and just be less generic, I think it'd be a lot healthier for the game. But I also feel like the reason why they make stuff more generic is to give people more freedom, but honestly, that's what leads to the issues that pop up. Again, what breaks Yu-Gi-Oh!, for example, is not a Thunder Dragon deck. Thunder Dragon deck is fine. But when you play Thunder Dragon with something like, I don't know, any other engine that exists, suddenly you can't draw cards, you know, which is a core function in the game, while you have other stuff to deal with. Like today, you can make Thunder Dragon. I remember I used to play Thunder Dragon with the Sacred Beast, which would negate every card in the field when it put together with the trap card, and have this in the field. So it's like, now you can't draw and you can't beat these giant titans in the field because I'm stopping your effects. But with just this, it's not that bad. You can deal with this. Now, Thunder Dragon actually is a counter to this, or dangers are a counter to Thunder Dragon, because what Thunder Dragon says is you can't add. What dangers say is you draw, which again, terminology in Yu-Gi-Oh means everything. It says you can't add, but you can draw. They're two different things. All right, I do think we do lose here though, so I gotta figure out what to do. So they have multiple things they can do. Mothman. Yeah, this is the invocation, so I don't really need this. The card that's gonna be annoying is gonna be Dogman, which we don't have to worry about yet. Dogman says, did it? Okay, did it not? Dogman says when this is discarded, you get to reduce my monsters by 1,000. And even though I can survive one attack, I can't survive an ass beating. All right, so then there's Bigfoot. That's discarded. Okay. Pogo Pogo. Here comes Bigfoot. I think what they might do, if they're smart, they need to go into Crusadia, and Crusadia is going to be kind of hard to out. Pogo Pogo is... okay. You can just send. Does that include a Dogman? This is discarded. No, it does not. They did send Dogman. Wait a minute. Does it work the way I think it works? If this card is discarded, you can... no, it's not. It's not. And I don't think they knew that. Because again, it says you can send. You can send one card. Send and discard, 2 different words. All right, now we're link climbing. Let's see, Masquerina probably into Security Dragon, I think. And then all you gotta do is just go into Avermax and you're chilling. But I will say, I do have Thunder Dragons in my graveyard, so I'm not dead. So I have some time to figure it out. How do I out Crusadia with my deck? Do I have an option? I do, actually. I have to get the Blacklusted Soldier. Because Blacklusted Soldier, when you destroy a card by battle, you get 3 effects. One, you have to choose one. And, are you making Saruja? Oh, no, they're doing BLS. Got it. Okay. You know what's funny? If they attack me, they're going to die. There is the Mothman. I need Mothman to not get discarded. 50-50. No! Or Dogman, sorry. Okay, now it sucks. Now it sucks. Okay, it's not the worst. I can deal with BLS. He actually can't deal with my Thunder Dragon Colossus in this situation. They actually needed to go into Crusadia to win here. But you know what? Slapping Dongs, you get props for pulling out the cool card. BLS is just a cool version of Crusadia. Crusadia is half the man the Blacklusted Soldier, aka Gaia the Dragon Champion, was. Okay, so what's going to happen here is they're going to attack. I'll be able to survive because you can survive. Oop, we're doing more. That's not. This card doesn't work the way you think it works. It's because this is not co-linked. He's going to attack me. But yeah, he just lost. Make sure I wait for this. And then what do we have to banish? I guess we'll banish just one of these. So if this is co-link, they can target one card and return it. That would have 100% been an out, so they would need an arrow that points down. If this would have resolved and destroyed a card, they would have been able to create a crazy tower. Honestly, if they made Crusadia, they would have won here. I don't know why they didn't do that. But again, I'm gonna give them benefit of the doubt based for making the cool card instead. And they burned all out. This is what Dangers did. Dangers had a weakness. Every deck back then had some kind of weakness. And I feel like nowadays decks have less weakness because you can keep mixing different archetypes together, and that's the problem with the game. But again, a lot of people might disagree with how that works. Abomination. Okay. What are you gonna target? You get to pop a card in the field, and then I can still out this with Matrix. What do you out? Surely they're not going to out just my Colossus. Because something that makes Colossus so broken is it's anytime this card's about to be destroyed by battle or effect. Pop that. You think that protected me? Oh, that's crazy. All right, well, you activate you, make this stronger. Let's get Invocation back in action. We're gonna add Alistair back into hand. We get to do so much now. All because they chose not to make Crusadia. You normal summon Alistair, add Invocation, not that I really need it here. And then we make, let's go ahead and send one of you away so we have another protection in the graveyard. I mean, even right here, I'm mixing two archetypes, and it really goes to show you, like, mixing Invocation or Invoked with Thunder Dragons was kind of crazy back then. Let's make one of these so I can protect myself from destruction if it comes down to it. And then we activate Invocation. You know what? Let's do this one over here. We're gonna make Mekaba. Let's banish your card and my card. I mean, again, goes to show you, like, when you have stuff like this, it's like you're mixing archetypes. That's what makes the game, you know, hard to deal with. And then we destroy. Dang. And then we attack with 25. But also, I'm gonna point out, in 2019, you weren't dead yet. You're not dead yet. I mean, I'm sure if I optimize the deck better, I could probably have a kill combo fairly frequently. But older Yu-Gi-Oh, you weren't dead immediately. I think that's another big problem with Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays, where if you open up just one card short of your combo or you break, it's game over. There's nothing you can do. I mean, they're still dead here because, again, Danger as a deck, what was weak about it is it's all steam. When that steam runs out, it's over. And again, had they literally just made Crusadia, it'd be fine. Actually, you know what? No, Crusadia would be enough. Because they would have been able to do 3,000 damage to me, and then because I drew the Alistair engine, I would have been able to make Mekaba, and then when they were to activate the effect, I'd be able to negate it, and then they would still shuffle a card back on the field, but they would still be out of steam end of the day. But yeah. All right, let's go ahead and queue up with another duel. I do think the more I think about it is every archetype that comes out from here on out should be linked to that archetype. Like, there shouldn't be as many generic cards, and I think Konami realized that. And as new cards come out and they focus on only doing it within those archetypes, I think it might be better. All right, our hand is pretty good. I'm gonna keep the toggle on because they won't know what I have. Ooh. Okay. I know I said ooh, seeing Sangan. Sangan was still pretty good. You know what's funny? Is I always wondered how broken Sangan would be today if they brought back the old effect. It'll be nuts. You can technically activate Sangan and add Max C here, which is crazy. I don't think they're going to. And if they do it, it doesn't really matter because I'm not going to be summoning that much anyways to begin with. I might honestly just activate Thunder Dragon twice and then make Thunder Dragon Colossus with that, and that's going to be my turn. It's going to be pretty simple, you know? This format in Yu-Gi-Oh! And formats prior to did have some combos. I say air quotes because compared to today, they're very, very light. But they're not as crazy. Again, some of the casual complaints, which I know all the people that sweat and play Yu-Gi-Oh! 24/7 are so tired of hearing about, is Yu-Gi-Oh! Is all about 20-minute turns and stuff like that, setting up 20 negate boards. And as much as you hate to hear that, it's partially true. It is true. Like, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Today is making so your opponent cannot play. And on top of that, when you splash in the hand traps, which you have to deal with as well, that's where the game becomes annoying to a lot of casuals, and people just don't like to play that format in the game. And before you're like, well, old Yu-Gi-Oh! Also had problems. Hey, you never been Yana locked. Shut up. Like, shut your bitch ass up. Bow, bro. People did get Yana locked here and there. But guess what? You still got to play. The game still got to be like, you know, 5-10 turns, not one turn, you know, things like that. There's always some kind of broken format within the formats that existed in the past. All right, we got... I'm trying to figure out which one of these I have to hit with Baylor. I guess it doesn't matter. This is probably the trap. This is going to be an imperm. Let's go ahead and activate this. Let's see if we got any Ash Blossoms. We don't have Ash Blossom, which is great. All right, and now all we're going to do is we're going to mind control their card away. If they have the trap card, you don't got to worry about it. Mind control. Let me get that. We don't have a great hand here, but again, we're not going to die. Let me get this. What I'm actually do is I'm going to just tribute over it. Activate this. Add Thunder Dragon. And I'm going to do it again. The reason I'm doing like this is because I want both in the graveyard. Bang. Add another one. And then we're gonna activate Dragon Dark to add another Dragon Dark from hand. I'm literally just gonna normal summon over this and add Colossus. Again, the reason why I'm doing like this to explain is because it lets me, oh, I'm stupid. I already, what did I normal summon? Oh, sorry, you can't tribute. I keep forgetting Mind Control, you can't tribute. What I'm actually gonna do here is, I'm gonna make this first. You know what? There is a world where, do I go for BLS right now? I kind of want to go for BLS. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a link too. Because if I invocation here, hold on. You know what? We're gonna make Crusadia. We're gonna get a little Crusadia mirror happening right now. Let's go summon this. Like that. Now I will get absolutely devastated if they're playing. See, have I summoned enough? No, I'm not summoned enough. You know what? I trust my gut. Let's go for. Yeah, we're gonna go for Crusadia. The reason I'm not doing BLS is because I fear that they might have. This is a link too, right? Yeah. That they might have their Crusadia, in which case my BLS just dies. This way I can go into Crusadia that's protected by the power of Masquerina, the alt art Royal Masquerina. Animation! Hey, who's winning the fight between Crusadia and BLS? Effects aside, who's winning that fight? Let me know. Now we swing. This card is actually kind of hard out. Again, it's Cowards used to be, you know, they were an option back then. Let's put you right here actually, so we can stop this. If they have Imperm to Imperm me back, you can't target this. Towers were like, you know, a problem when they came up, but they didn't like insta win like right now. Kind of reminds you of 2005 when, you know, Blacklusted Soldier Envoy beginning was summoned, and it's like, how do I deal with this? Can I draw into my Sakuretsu armor, my Darkhold, my whatever? I'm not worried about that, to be honest. I don't. Imperm is not going to do anything for me at this point. I'm not really too worried here. If they can link climb to, do I have Alistair here? I don't. If they can link climb to Avermax, then we would go basically 1-for-1. Shit, don't. And then it's gonna be like what happens next. Ooh, Call By is a great card. Why did you? Okay, sometimes in Yu-Gi-Oh, questionable things are done. They activated Harpy's Feather Duster, but they didn't do anything. What was the point? Like, what actually was the point? Like, I didn't have enough to kill you yet. What was the point? All right, Call By the Grave is actually very, very powerful here because if they go into Regulex, good lord, that was a tongue twister. Or if they happen to have any other Crusader cards in the graveyard, I can just negate it from the get-go. And they did not have enough, and we just... See how, like, different that is compared to today? If I would have had another turn back, all my cards would come back into my hand, and I would start the combo all over again, depending on the deck that I'm playing. Now, if you made it this far in the video, let me know, like I said, where you grew up. Where was the home for you for Yu-Gi-Oh? Some of you guys just watch the videos, which is cool. And, you know, I often try to, like, be as educational as possible because I want people to play the game. I think this is a great game. Yu-Gi-Oh today, I said it in like so many videos, it's like chess. Back then, it was like checkers. 2005, 2010, Yu-Gi-Oh was more like checkers. Yu-Gi-Oh today is chess. You have to know every single move and how to stop those moves before your opponent get to their board. And then when it's your turn, how do I break this board? What cards do I play in the meta to like prevent common occurrences? Like that's what the game is. You have to think a lot more, and I think that's why I love the game so much. Ooh, great hand for turn 2. Great hand. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn off my, you know, I hope they're playing Dangerous actually. I'm gonna turn this off. Ooh, they're playing Sky Strikers, question mark? What does this do in 2019? I have no clue. I have zero clue what this does in 2019. I know at this point you still have cards like Plasma and Dark Law. So I also don't want to, like, I want my toggle to be, you know what I wish the game would do? Before they go to end phase, regardless if this is off or not, it asks you, you want to activate one last card. I hate that I have to, like, you know, predict when their turn is going to end and then hit this button fast because I don't want them to know that I have Nibiru in hand. All right, we got, I mean, for the most part, I'm seeing a lot of common cards. This is a deck that I've always hated. because I feel like it does too much. Oh, they're trying to plasma me. They're trying to plasma me. Or banish that to add poly. See, this is what this deck does. This is why me and Dion, specifically Syriax, why we hate this deck. Because you're just, it's a glorified stun deck. You're just doing all this stuff. And now if they happen to have more recursion over here, I know they have poly in hand. It's like it's game over. What's the attack? I'll put this in attack mode, I guess. This turn 1. Now if they activate poly and they can do more stuff. I don't know what was all available in 2019, so where this is gonna go. But some of the more annoying cards that existed with this archetype. Raigeki? I don't care about that. I'm perfectly okay with that. Honestly, the hand that I have is nuts. There it is, Miracle Fusion. So I know absolute zero existed at this point. Do we have, no, we have nothing. They realized they had nothing. Let me check, because now I'm curious. All right, if you played, I mean, there's a lot of Heroes players out there. If you played Heroes, let me know what I'm looking at over here. So a Dark Law did exist. I mean, I know Mass Change was around in like 2017, if I remember correctly. In Duel Links, used to piss me off all the time. So I guess, yeah, that was around. Hero lives. Dude, Stratos is a 3? Still? I know this card went to 1, then it got banned for a while, then came back. This card was a 3 at this format? That's crazy. Yeah, this is why I like this deck. All it does, it's a glorified stun deck. The whole goal is to summon Plasma with Dark Law. So I don't have a graveyard, I have no effects. It's like, congratulations, you went first and I can't out this. Yeah, anyways, so let me know. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of cards that exist today. And I know a lot of people are playing Contrast Hero Chaos right now in the current. Look at that, 3 of these, oof. Oof. All right, let's get back into it. I'll probably do like 2 more. Maybe we'll do 1 more. We'll do 1 more and call it. But yeah, power creep is crazy. Yo, they done changed my game. Once again, I like to point out, peep the top 10,000. I think that's cool. My bronze trophy. I'm literally the guy with the pedestal that's like 3rd place, celebrating his bronze medal. But again, that's my goal. My goal is to be top 1,000 in my region. And then top 10K is a bonus on top of that. All right. Ooh, that's a great hand. This is nasty. Now the question is what is my opponent playing? Foolish Burial. All right. I think Sky Strikers at this point was a turn 2 deck, strictly, right? You played it with, you could play with like an Orcust combo, I believe. But Orcust at this point was somewhat banned, right? Orcust was too broken. I think, was Orcust one of like the big original crazy unbeatable combo decks? Because Orcust today you can play, which is nuts. The fact that Orcust was so crazy that today is playable, it tells you something. All right, we have Dragon Link and Thunder Dragons. Okay, so we have Dragon Link, Thunder Dragon. I can play through this, I think. So Allure lets you draw cards. I have to figure out how to deal with Thunder Dragon though, because what I need is a win. If I have easy access to win card, it'd be fine. And I don't know if this is the standard loner deck. I forgot what they included for it. But yeah, also goes to show you how crazy this. They added a Thunder Dragon loner deck for the event. And if you tell that to somebody, you're like, so I'm gonna get flooded out. But again, it wasn't that crazy. It was nowhere nearly as crazy as it is today. It's not until you start mixing it. I mean, again, my deck in 2019, right, is proving it. This mixed with like Alistair, my weakness is I need to open up with the pieces. I need to have to go into my invoked engine while going into my Thunder Dragon engine, which doesn't always happen. Breaking is kind of weakness to the deck. But when you get both out, dealing with that, be able to search cards while having a negate and then whatever hand traps or, you know, engines I had is nuts. This is a crazy opening hand. Bro. Hello? What was this at? Okay, this is at 1. Golden Sark is one of those cards that over the past 30 years has seen the ban list so many times. Because like the problem is, and this is why older cards are just not well made into the future. First of all, not once per turn. If you happen to have 2 or 3, you can pop off. There's a lot of cards that activate going into the banish zone. I mean, Allure of Darkness is another good example. This card right here literally says, draw 2, banish 1 dark monster. And you're thinking, well, what if I don't draw into a dark monster? If your entire deck is dark cards, you're gonna draw into something. And then if you play with like Thunder Dragons, which benefits off of being banished, it's just a free +2. Or I guess +1, because you're dropping 1 to draw 2. You know what I mean? Like a hand like this is about to be nuts. Right. So luckily, they're not going to do too much here, I think. Titan, is Titan once per turn? No, Titan's not once per turn. That's crazy. All right, so they have one of these. Okay, here comes Titan. I think they're gonna just end on Titan. And then, so they have basically one pop. And they summon in the extra zone, so they're not even gonna link. You're not like archetype lock. One thing you can do with new cards to make sure they're more fair is you lock them. Or it's like, if you activate this card, you can only summon Thunder Dragons for the rest of the turn, or Thunders for the turn, or, you know, fusions. And you see that with like Brain of Fusion, for example. You activate Brain of Fusion, you can only activate fusions for the rest of the turn. That's how you do safe, I guess, new themes and archetypes. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm salivating over the fact that I'm about to activate Allure of Darkness so many times. I'm about to get options. So all they have in hand is one Thunder Dragon, Dragon Dark, which is... Ooh, great. Fantastic, actually. All right, let's go ahead and start. So I'm gonna activate this first. Alistair, so I know they don't have Ash Blossom in hand. I'm gonna add Invocation. Then I'm going to activate Element Grain, Almirage. Then do this. And now we're gonna start popping off. So, you know what? For starters, I can Invocation right now and get Mechaba out as a response to this. Because I can banish, first of all, I can banish their own cards. I'm gonna hit this one. And Alistair, there you go. But now if they activate their card in hand, I can negate and banish this, by the way. And this is protected from destruction. I think that's why Mechaba existed. It was a counter to this. All right, now, let's activate this and send this away. Now, when this is activated, this is gonna trigger their Titan as well, so let's see if they fall for it. Surely they're not going to. Ooh, that was not the correct answer there. Now you lose your card. Why did you do that? Why did you do that? Oh, for that. Oh, that's bad. Yo. Oh. Is this going to activate again? It is. It is. Okay. And then this is why I have Almirage. This is one of those more advanced combos in 2019 where you're just going like through a lot of chains. Like I chained this, I chained that. So you can pop something. That was enough? My allures! I wanted to activate Allure of Darkness because I know me. I would have activated one. Well, I had one Thunder Dragon Dark coming in my hand, so I would be able to like at least activate one. That you know what? Let me see what deck they were playing. I want to know if they're playing the Loner. First of all, does the Loner have the Dragon Link cards? Let's see. It did. Oh, I did not know that. Okay, so this is probably just the straight up Loner then. Match history. Oh, that was a good little back and forth. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Yeah, I think it is, right? They have this many Veilers as well. Yo, this is a pretty good owner. It is. Okay, so it's bar for bar the same deck. Hey, notice how Ash Blossom was at 2 at this point, which is crazy. I feel like this is when the hatred for Ash Blossom used to like really started and ramped up. It was like, no, lose one card in your hand. Ash Blossom beats my entire board. But now it's like Ash Blossom is such a necessary, I don't even call it a necessary evil, a necessary support for the game, because Ash Blossom will protect you from dying turn 1. You know, you have cards like Synchro Emergency that's coming out very soon in the TCG that lets you do a full Synchro combo during your opponent's turn, which is nuts. Obviously you have the Mulch Armies if you go first to stop that, because Mulch Armies don't end your turn, but it does greatly slow you down. What I like about the Charmies as opposed to Max E is you actually get to have a turn still. It's like, okay, I can build a half board and give you maybe like 1, maybe 2 cards. Max E activates, you gotta give your opponent at least like 6 cards. I'm gonna say it's like I say it every single time. You take the chance to pick up the game. While it is a lot more difficult to learn today, it's highly rewarding. It's like, it's gonna piss you off, it'll frustrate you, but it'll make you smile and make you like, get those adrenaline boosts. Like the game does a lot to hype you up as you play it. It's also gonna piss you off a lot, so yeah, I recommend it. It's hard to learn, but if you take the time, you'll enjoy it. Maybe, I don't know. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the comment section below.